As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more. But one of the things I asked at the end was, we have COD that came out this week. We have Battlefield next week. And then we have Halo first week of December.
Yeah.
How does this all, and Jeff, I'll ask you this. How do you think this all ends up sort of shaking out from a sales perspective, or from a meets, exceeds, or falls below expectations perspective?
Good question. I think, Call of Duty is going to do well. I'm sure Call of Duty will sell the most, but that's kind of like the obvious answer, because they'd be the, if we were talking in betting parlance, they'd be pretty heavy favorite. Also to note with Halo is going to do incredibly well as well, but that it's not going to be perfect data that we'll get in terms of sales, because we obviously know that Microsoft is trying to drive a lot of adoption with Game Pass. So, they might say, hey, this many accounts played it, but we don't know how many accounts actually bought it versus played it on Game Pass, which to Microsoft's perspective doesn't matter, but it won't probably be perfect kind of comp to typical sales. And I actually think Battlefield will do well also. I mean, the reviews I think have been pretty good. I know, Paul, you've said you're pretty jacked up for that one, so I think they'll all do pretty well. I know that's a little bit of a cop-out answer, but COD will probably sell the most. It's a cop-out answer. Relative
so you think no one?
I'll take Battlefield to be the best relative to expectations, but COD will sell the most.
I think I might even go further and iterate on that. Like, I think Vanguard might do worse than last year's COD, and I think Halo will do better, and I think Battlefield will do better than their previous iterations. Like, I think that those are the trends, but talking raw numbers, it's going to sell the most COD. Like, it's COD.
The Vanguard discussion is hard because the COD titles are really just a vehicle to sell skins and weapon packs for the free-to-play version. The only reason why anyone bought Black Ops was because the Black Ops guns in Warzone were overpowered. They were by far the best guns to use in the Battle Royale mode, so you would get Black Ops to level them up and then use them in Warzone. So, the COD activations are such garbage. Like, I saw a Judge Dredd one. I saw they're still pushing the Die Hard one. They did a Scream one, which was kind of funny to see people running around in the Scream outfits. But
I've seen so many of those Scream outfits too. That's why I know they made so much money off that low lift activation. I'm just like, no one put any effort into this, and they just made so much money.
It's a bunch of stuff that would have been cool in like 2006, honestly.
Right. The quality of the skin too. It was just like, what is this dog? Yeah. Like, what? It's so bad.
Yeah. To Jeff's point, Battlefield has an awesome, loyal, I think, fan base. I've heard a lot of the trash talk. I've seen a lot of the gameplay, and on social media, people are definitely praising it. So, it's just interesting because none of them are really on the same level of one another, I don't think. I think they're all competing against their best or worst versions of themselves. And so, with that in mind, I think COD is going to underperform. I think Battlefield will overperform greatly. And I think Halo will be lucky to make a splash because it's been so long. That's really a strong nostalgia.
That's a hot take, Jimmy.
That is a hot take.
That's a very hot take.
There you heard it here. You heard it here.
You're choosing. I appreciate that.
Jeffrey says it only counts if it's New York bagels. Jeffrey, sure. Montreal bagels, #1. New York bagels, 2.
No, listen to you bagel snobs. I will accept McDonald's bagels if it means getting a bagel.
What's that?
Island bagels.
I said I'll eat a McDonald's bagel if it means getting a bagel.
Oh, no.
We don't need to be highbrow about this.
All right, guys. Let's. I will just say one thing before we move on. On the COD Battlefield sort of Halo discussion, I was surprised to see almost very few streamers have been streaming the new COD, right? Like, XQC played it a little bit on stream, but I didn't see a whole lot of play, and I don't know how much that translates to sales, right? It'll be interesting to see. But I think the minutes streamed and viewed for COD this year seems very low, anecdotally. I don't know what the numbers will bear out, but anecdotally seems very low.